afternoon to everyone. Can you hear me? I'm going to stay away from the abstract. I'm going to show a lot of examples. Sparrow is a courseware development platform. When I said that to people, they asked me, oh, so where are you aiming, K-12 or higher ed? And I said, stop for a second. We're a courseware development platform. We are aiming wherever courseware is being developed. So the massive digitization wave that's happening in the last kind of decade just means that there's a lot of more people that are creating digital courseware. You've seen them today. So we sell a platform for those people. We've been thinking a lot about what is the message? What's our message to the world? We think that the message is that the medium is the message. And what we mean by that is that the medium of instruction has changed. And when you design for a course, and a course is the thing on the left, i.e. it makes out of a lecture and a textbook and an exam, then you do certain things. But if you start realizing that the medium in which you teach is software, you need to rethink and redesign your learning experiences. So a lot of our customers have this problem. This is actually a customer of us. She told us, look, we've got a really good course. It's an exciting course. It's about an inspiring subject, global challenges. It has TED Talks. I mean, TED Talks, that's inspiring, that's exciting, that's engaging. We want engagement, right? Project-based learning, inquiry-based learning, great pedagogical stuff, right? But look at it. Is that engaging? Do you want to study it? Do you want your kids to study it? So what happened here is that she's designing for the classroom, but she's publishing it on if you want, in a digital medium. So this is not uncommon. It is common. It's a bit like how a great book can be a really lousy movie, right? So a great lecture-based course can be a really lousy digital course. So what do we do? So I'm going to show you example after example, and I hope at some stage you agree with me. There's this thing called rich, interactive, and adaptive. And one of the insights here is that we use the word adaptive, and if you're interested, Google adaptiveelearning.com, and you'll see the research group from which this company of ours has emerged in 2006. When we use the word adaptive, we mean that very specifically, like the feedback you get while you solve problems is kind of dynamically generated based on what you do, what you've just done. And also the sequence of screens, if you want, in the lesson is dynamically generated. So that's what we mean with the word adaptive, and I know that other people use the word adaptive freely. In other words, for us, adaptive is just one trait of what makes a good learning experience. Yeah, it has to be adaptive. But it also has to be rich and engaging and inspiring and fits the medium and relevant to me. It's not just adaptive. I'll give you an example. I've done the DMV driving test. That was an adaptive experience. Adaptive? Yeah. Engaging? Not so much. All right. So, sorry. ASU is using Sparrow, and they created this complete online course. The whole course is on Sparrow. It's accessible through the LMS. This particular screen you see is from a lesson. In order to actually progress, students actually need to interact with the simulation. Based on what they do, they get different feedback, and they will go down a different path in the lesson. Next, University of New South Wales, a normal chemistry course. Every week in the LMS, there's a smart lesson on Sparrow. Again, rich, interactive, and adaptive lesson. Next, the Gates Foundation gave a coalition that we put together a grant to build, quote, the world's best science course. We met Bill Gates. We promised him something amazing. If you're interested in to see the world's best science course, come to me later. BioBeyond is definitely engaging. It's very rich. It's very adaptive. And it was all built using Sparrow platform. James Cook University, our colleagues in Australia, are teaching their pathologist students how to diagnose disease in a rich engagement, in rich activity where they actually, you look at a digital microscopy slide, annotate it and so forth, and get feedback based on what they've done. The feedback is adaptive. The lesson sequences is adaptive, but it's a very rich and engaging experience. A network of medical schools designing digital learning experiences that are rich, interactive, and adaptive. I will say it a lot of times. And in this case, teaching how to defibrillate patients, teaching nurses how to defibrillate patients using a simulation, kind of useful so they can kill the patient in the simulation. We have customers that use the platform to create stuff for childcare. We've got open universities that created rich, engaging experiences that plug into their MOOC platform. Even something as boring, one would say, as chartered accountancy is come to life in a digital medium. What they've done there is they didn't take the text and converted it to an online LMS experience. They redesigned from scratch a digital learning experience. In this case, you actually simulate an acquisition. You are an actor. There's a narrative in the experience. You get feedback every bit on the way. It's a very rich, very interactive, and very adaptive experience. Even so that a big bank started to do these things, it makes sense for them because they can suddenly afford it. And there's more where that came from. So those was learning experiences, the lessons of levels. At the level of lessons, it's also 4 p.m. for me. This is how a course can look like. So this is not an LMS course, I hope you agree. This is a course about resiliency, an adaptive course about resiliency. This is how it looks like. This is the BioBeyond I mentioned before. The actual learning experience looks like that. Students actually go through a learning journey that kind of visually adapts to them, if you want, in this experience. And there is a lot. The point, this is a Department of Defense experience, actually. They also want to train soldiers with a very rich interactive and adaptive experience. This case about emotional intelligence. All right. That's my message. There is a revolution happening, and it's a revolution in the quality of the digital learning experiences. And there's a lot of pressure of schools and publishers to start creating better learning experiences, and they need tools. And our insights are that in the same way that if you create a game, you need Unity or you need Unreal Engine. When you create courseware and you realize courseware is a type of software, you need Smart Sparrow. We want some awards, and that's my takeaway message. If you're investors, you should talk to me. If you're competitors, you should be very worried and stay away. And if you are intrigued and excited and potentially a customer, come talk to me as well. Thank you.